Yesterday, we recapped the events that set Skolas, the Kell of Wolves, on his insane path to capture Vex technology in an ill-fated attempt to destroy his enemies. We learned of Skolas' hatred for the Awoken Queen, her brother, and above all, Variks the Loyal, deemed the disloyal by Skolas. It seems that Skolas blamed the House of Judgment scribe assigned to him for his own fall as well as that of his house, seeing him as a betrayer of sorts. But this is only one side of the story, told by the loser. As we all know, the victor writes history, and it is the House of Judgment's job to describe the history of the fallen houses. In this Grimoire card, Variks records his own. They call me betrayer. They do not think I hear the words. Bug, insect, fallen. I hear. House of Judgment always hears. No choice. Has to keep houses together. Had to. Variks the Loyal, chronicler of fallen houses, lists the insult levied against him. We hear the words the others of his race call him: bug, insect, and fallen. As we learn from Variks, the true name of the fallen is Elixni, a once proud fallen race that became scavengers and pirates following their own infighting and betrayals. It appears the name sticks, but we can only assume that the use of fallen by the race is a drastic insult to each other. It seems unlikely the humans and Awoken would refer to Variks as a traitor, or insult him as their ally. We also learn the House of Judgment's purpose. It appears its job is to record the actions of the other fallen houses, but also provides support and advice to keep the houses in order, working for the greater good. Following this, we learn a brief part of the Fallen's history. First, the Great Machine, then Sky fell away. Whirlwind ripped away the past, all honor lost, all hope, judgment not enough, cannot keep wolves from kings, scars from winter, fell to fighting, fell to hate, judgment gone, others slaughtered, slain, death and docking, keep Elixni together, lost to pride and rage. The Great Machine, the name the Fallen gave the Traveler, it appears at some point the Fallen were a race of the light, but this was followed by some sort of cataclysm, the Whirlwind, the event that caused the Traveler to flee. We do not know for sure what this event entailed, but we're able to speculate by the fact that the sky fell away, that this was likely the coming of the darkness. Regardless, the following gulf the Traveler left caused the fallen houses to begin their infighting, with House of Judgment failing to keep the peace as per their mantra, keep Elixni together. It appears the majority of House Judgment were killed in the fighting, but Variks maintains his mission to the best of his ability, keeping his house's goals alive by attaching himself to various other houses in their attempt to follow the Traveler. Eventually, they appear to catch up. Found the light, too bright in darkness to hide. House Winter attack. House Devils plot. House King's plan. House Wolves circle. House Judgment wait. Now at war, fight for system, control the belt. Wolves Kell dead, dying. Here we get an insight into the differences between the fallen houses, seeing the way in which they act when their goals are in sight. House Winter seemed to immediately head to decision and violence, most likely unprepared, considering the capture of their Archon before our story begins. Devils and Kings take a more reserved approach, thinking things through before striking. House of Wolves seeks opportunity, presumably to rebel and make their house stronger if Skolas' account is to be believed. It appears this is around the time the former Kell of Wolves dies, leaving Skolas to wrest control of the house from his fellows. It seems Skolas is more decisive. Seeing an opportunity, Skolas goes on the offensive, attacking Place of Learning, Place of Healing, laying siege to Polis. Variks did his best to help the house during this time, despite being resentful. Eventually, the wolves are defeated. It is this time that Skolas opts for a more guerrilla approach, unleashing explosives on civilian targets and causing an uprising on Cybele. Variks cannot stomach the display of violence and hatred, and plots his betrayal of the House of Wolves, presumably to stop the wolves from their atrocities, but also to protect the fallen houses from their wrath. Variks instead elects to reach out to the Awoken and their queen in order to stop Skolas and his rampaging house. Variks ended the House of Wolves with words. This is important to note. It is not only pure brute force that the Fallen or Elixni admire, but also cunning, In many ways, Variks and Skolas are the two different sides of the same coin, representing these two virtues the Fallen aim to embody. Following the successful attack by the Awoken, the Paladins discover Variks. We can assume by this small, important, but effectively derisive detail that Variks is most likely not lying to us. This is a story embellished. At this point, Variks joins the Awoken Queen, making the House of Judgment the fallen envoy to the Awoken. Variks considers this to be his only option. No choice. House Judgment must survive. This is, above all else, that drives Variks. Possibly the last of his house, he continues to endeavor to keep the records alive, to keep the memory of his house going. In many ways, Variks was never a betrayer. On the contrary, he was always loyal to both his house and his ideals.